even have us set up. Y'all forgot about us?
PC fam, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the NBA playoffs pregame show. The playoffs are officially among us. In fact, in 58 minutes, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers will tip off the 2004-2025 NBA playoffs. Such a beautiful occasion. Chill, how are you feeling this beautiful morning?
You said to me a while ago that it's kind of bittersweet because the playoffs mean that the season is coming to an end. So what? So what? I'm supercharged. I get supercharged about the playoffs. I do. Yeah. I get supercharged because all of that stuff that you was talking about, Ox, we just moved over to the $10,000 blackjack table. We was at the $10 blackjack table now. Now the bets just got higher. Let's see who. And by the way, everybody else got money. Let's see who got money to play at this table. Let's see who got the nuts to come over to this table and play with their money. Let's see who got it.
So chill. We got a couple teams that are playing with their rent money though. We do got a couple teams that are at the high rollers blackjack table and they're gambling their rent money. It might not should be over here. Any teams come to mind? I mean, obviously we got the 7 and 8 seed in the East, who is Orlando and Miami, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Miami was a 10 seed, made their way to the 8 seed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Miami is what the play-in tournament is all about, y'all. What they just did. So those two teams that are playing with their rent money, should they have any action this week at all?
First of all, Ox, I only came to the table with like $25, right? If you're the Miami Heat, and I won like 25,000. So I'm playing with house money right now. That's what I'm doing. I already got the rent money already covered. All right, I already got the rent money covered. So the money that I got now, this is dough for the house. I mean, this dough from the house. So anything extra that I get, none of y'all dudes thought that we would be here. None of y'all did, right? So instead, I took the dough that I won from the house. Now I'm gonna try to flip this dough. If I don't flip it, I still got the rent money. I still got the rent money. Rent money's still good. I'm straight on that.
Okay.
Now we got some teams that's kind of backed into the playoffs, like Memphis, for example. You kind of tricked some of the rent money. You did. You kind of tricked some of the rent money, and now you got to make some of that money back because if you lose at this table, like we got some real issues. Like we might be losing a car. Like my car payment might not get made this month, Ox, and it might be an issue. It might be.
Man, Memphis went from the 2 seed at one point,
about a month and a half,
from just dropping games to the point where I was guaranteeing they would be out the playoffs.
Yep.
To now facing OKC in the first round.
Yes, sir.
It's looking rough for them. Do you feel like they could possibly steal a few, or is this
even if they do steal a few, you still ain't playing with house money. You still losing your dough because you shouldn't even be in this position in the first place. You should have been better than you are. Now we find ourselves at a high roller table. To my point, we had a high roller table, and we only got a little bit of money left, Fox. That's all we got. So this Memphis team, who, for all intents and purposes, backed into the playoffs, I didn't think that they would win yesterday. I mean, Anthony Davis did put on a masterclass like I thought he would, but the problem is that it was just him. They didn't get anything from anybody else, right? There was a stretch in the game where Dallas had 87 points and Anthony Davis has 35 of them. So. I mean, we're talking about a Memphis team that, yes, they did handle their business yesterday. But to be in this position right now you find yourselves in an even tougher position where you got to deal with this Oklahoma City team. Don't get me wrong, Ox. I said this to you yesterday where, okay, you guys have been playing. So because you've been playing, you sharp. Oklahoma City been sitting around for the last 8-9 days, and there's not much that's been going on. So you may be able to stick a game to them in game one. Because you've been playing. Yesterday was Friday. I guess you guys start on Sunday. So you might be able to stick a game to them. After that, I don't see any more action because Oklahoma City has dominated Memphis this entire season. So I don't see any action for Memphis. No, I don't.
Right. So Chill alluded to it briefly. Before we do, really break down what we got for us in store today. Because today, like I said, we got the Pacers in Milwaukee tipping it off. Then we got Denver and the LA Clippers. Then we got New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. And to wrap the game up, we have the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. We got a good day for basketball today, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, the final play-in games, we did have Atlanta and Miami. Miami went up quick. Atlanta came back and they took it to overtime. And ultimately, Davion Mitchell put the nail in the coffin for them. How was that game overall? I mean, to me, it was a pretty exciting game. How'd you enjoy that game?
Well, two things, Ox. You know, when you have a game where all the chips are pushed to the front of the table and winner take all, like I think you find out who exactly is here and who isn't. And I can't say enough about how important your rotation guys are, because there's going to be stretches where you don't have it. Not only are there going to be stretches where you don't have it, there's going to be players who aren't prepared for this. Zachary Richichet, it was obvious that he was not prepared for this. He looked like a rook yesterday. Those shots that he was getting, he looked rushed. In the words of my man Big Ox, those dollar sign eyes, yes, he had those last night. Because, like I said, when the bets go up and you're in playoff basketball and there's very little margin for error, you have to be more experienced in this. And Richichet looked exactly like he was an inexperienced guy. Now, maybe that'll change in the future. But last night, that was not the case. He wasn't able to get downhill and get to the rim like he normally does. He wasn't able to get out in transition. The Miami Heat were a lot more physical with him. Then on top of that, the other Atlanta guys, like the big fella, as we call him, Big Plump, Mr. George Niang, he actually does have some playoff experience. So he knew exactly what it was. He was prepared to go. Okongwu actually gave me some solid minutes. Ox, I gotta stop. It's not that I have to stop. Let me rephrase that. I was told, chill, Bam isn't who you think he is. Well, actually, he is who I think he is, Ox. I think he's a better version of what Buck Williams was. I think he's a 19. I think he's a 19 to 21, 22 a game guy. I think he's a 9 to 11 a game rebound guy. I think he's an advanced dirty work guy. But he's not a guy you can run your offense through, and we're going to be successful in that manner. No, that's not who he is. You need somebody else. He's going to be your defensive anchor. He's going to be your guy in the paint, but he's not going to be the guy that you can run your offense through. And I've accepted that about him. And last night was more evidence of that. That's why Tyler Hero took over the game at the end. That's why when we got Tyler Hero in pick and roll, we got Tyler Hero in pick and dive with Bam, who can do a better job at setting screens. He didn't do as good of a job at setting screens and getting Tyler Hero open, but he was able to get him open. With that being said, Tyler Hero came down in the stretch and he knocked down some big shots. It was Davion Mitchell who made it clear that I'm with you guys. And this is why your rotation players are so important, Knox, because your rotation guys are going to be the difference in you winning or losing. I say that because your star players, I've always felt like this. You are a big time Tim Duncan. You're a big time Kevin Garnett fan. Whenever I saw Kevin Garnett in the playoffs, I just X'd him out because I'm thinking to myself, you're not taking KG out of whatever they're doing. No, KG is going to do his thing. So we're going to 86 KG. Who do we have to cancel out KG's production? And on top of that, what am I going to get from my rotation guys? Because they're going to be the difference in the game. Davion Mitchell was the difference in that game. They're leaving him open, and they're daring him to shoot, and he knocks down those shots. That's the difference in the game. Same logic happened last year with the Dallas Mavericks when they played against Oklahoma City. They said that we're gonna deal with Luka. We'll eat his production. Same logic with Kyrie Irving. It was PJ Washington who was the difference in that series. He was the one who was knocking down open shots. Same logic with Davion Mitchell last night. You got to get on the glass, which is what he did. You got to come up with big stops, which is what he did. And on top of that, you got to play smart. He did all of those things. That was the difference in them winning last night, and I loved it. Bless you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Oh, my bad, y'all. That clarity ain't kick in yet. Man. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I had Miami, but I was just really happy to see Davion play good. I just love seeing Davion play good basketball. I'm a huge Davion Mitchell fan. Even before he was a Sacramento King, you know what I'm saying? I loved what he was doing in Baylor. He won me a lot of money in that national championship game too, y'all. But yeah, man, I was happy to see that. I was really happy to see Okongwu. That young man was playing some basketball last night, Chill.
Yes, he was. Yes,
that young man was playing some basketball last night. That was a really good game, y'all. I hope y'all didn't miss it. And then, Chill, you already spoke about what happened with Dallas and Memphis. I don't think we need to. Anthony Davis played amazing, though. I mean,
yes,
Anthony,
did.
You know, and I was really happy to see Anthony Davis playing good too. For the main reason that and you can feel however you want to feel about the Luka Doncic trade. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. But what I am going to say is I'm going to reiterate the fact that Anthony Davis is no bum. He's no slouch at all. And for people to say that the Dallas Mavericks just got nothing in return, I think it was a disrespect and discredit to Anthony Davis as a basketball player. And I'm happy that these past couple weeks he's been able to show everybody or remind everybody who he is.
Ox, you know what I mean? So is it fair to say, Ox, that I'm going to now, despite what I do, because he went almost 40 and 10 last night, Ox. Let's make sure we clear on that. He went almost 40 and 10 last night. He went 40 and 9. So with that being said, am I now going to be categorized and am I now going to be tied to Luka Doncic forever, despite what I do? Like again, all we're looking at now is we're looking at they didn't win, despite the fact that he got busy last night. Not only did he get busy, they had only won in the regular season. They had only lost twice with him in the lineup, right? And he went out of the lineup last night because he had that knee injury. He came right back in the game, though. By the way, it wasn't like he was out for the rest of the game. No, he came back in the game and he left it all on the floor. I say that to say, Ox, when you make a trade like this, which everybody talks about, you just don't do this. But now, is he going to be measured against like whatever Luka does, kind of like with Sam Bowie and Jordan? Like, okay, you ended up picking Sam Bowie over Jordan. This is what Jordan did, and now this is what Sam Bowie did. And right. I think it's gonna leave out how good Anthony Davis not only has been, but is still. Because I still think I got some years left with Anthony Davis at this level. I think I can get 2 or 3 more years of this Anthony Davis. So I'm asking, what the question that I'm asking, Ox, is he going to be tied to this, and is it fair? Is he going to be tied to Luka, and is it fair? Because I don't think it is.
He will be tied to Luka, and I can't say whether or not it's fair. Chill. I can only say that it's a fact. It's going to happen, and you know, I think I don't know if it's something wrong with that. I can't say whether or not that's a good or bad thing. Right. I think we should try to look at these players as who they are, as opposed to, you know, a lot of times, like for instance, Jason Tatum gets a lot of time. He's great, but he's not this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't think we're going to get that. I think in order for that to happen, the Mavericks are going to have to make a play for a championship. Like they got to do something this offseason. Obviously, Kyrie's got to get healthy, but as we know, you make that trade for Anthony Davis, and then Kyrie Irving gets hurt. That's just a compound. It's just compounded on top of that. It was already bad, and that was exponentially worse because Kyrie went out too. So
that made it worse. Sure.
Yeah. Well, but you know, Dallas is out of there. There's nothing. Their season's over. You know what I'm saying? They're kicking back, getting ready for what do you call it? Getting ready for the next season.
Cancun.
Cancun, or wherever they go. But speaking of that, Alan Orr says the camera panning to Nico while AD was limping was insanely nasty.
Because and the reason why it was, Ox, is because Luka was out. Luka was hurt during the season. It wasn't like Luka wasn't hurt he was hurt last year in the playoffs. He was hurt during the season where he missed a substantial amount of time for the Dallas Mavericks. So it's not like he traded away a guy who was just rolling at the time and just took him out of the lineup. No, Luka was hurt too. And I think it's unfair because we don't talk nearly as much about the positive side of Anthony Davis. The fact that last season he played over 90% of the games. And in this year, he was also on pace to do that before he had that groin injury, which he was dealing with last year. And the fact that they were winning games, I think they only lost twice with him in the lineup when he got since he had gotten traded. And I think it's the injury thing is totally unfair. He's played 80% of the games 5 of the 6 years that he played in New Orleans. 5 of the 6 years he played in New Orleans, he played 80% of the games. That soft tag was when he got to Los Angeles because he was never considered soft. And in those last 2 years, he was a staple on the floor. If I'm not mistaken, he was in the top 10 in the league last year in minutes. In the top 10 in the league last year in minutes. And that's a pretty big deal. Now, I know, Ox, you don't trade the 25-year-old franchise player who's top 3, top 4, top 5 player. I get that. But this is not a bum that he got traded for. This is not a bum that he got traded for. This is a top 10 player who, again, Dallas is looking at this in the short term, and they think that they can do something. And, with Kyrie Irving last night, I think that's a different game. I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, with Kyrie, they wouldn't even have been there. You know what I mean? With Kyrie, I believe they would have been securely, 5-6.
Yeah, they would have been in the playoffs. They were
4-2, something like that. But, that's part of it, y'all. And as I say, man, I don't think basketball was ever meant to be a fair sport. I don't think most sports were meant to be fair. It can't be fair. It's impossible to be fair. I mean, we're all different people with different abilities. Some of us are bigger, stronger, faster. Some of us are smarter, quicker on our feet, quicker, reaction. It's not going to be fair ever. So we just got to accept that and keep pushing, to just keep enjoying this beautiful game we call basketball.
Yeah.
So we went over that, y'all, and let's get into this, chill. First game, Indiana, Milwaukee. What are we looking for today? Like, what are we looking for as far as setting the tone? I saw somebody, and I put it up real quick. Somebody said, I can't wait for Monday so the panel can overreact to every game one. And I can guarantee you one thing, whoever said that in the chat, I can't remember, I'm sorry. We will 100% do a little overreacting. Yes, we will. And I will be a part of that.
They getting swept. They ain't winning the game.
Right? I don't care if Indiana loses by 2 points, you're gonna hear, oh man, Giannis isn't who you think he is. I don't know who's gonna say it, but something's gonna happen, right? And that's just a part of it, man. We love this sport. We're gonna overreact a little bit. We might downplay some things. You never know. But chill, as far as setting the tone, because I think that's what game one's supposed to be all about. Setting the tone, punching somebody in the mouth, letting this other team know what to expect. Chill, who's going to do it? Who's going to swing first? Who's going to connect first? What are we looking at today?
Ox, when you're on the court and you got your guys with you, and then you see your man walk through the door that you wasn't sure was going to be there. You see him walk through the door, like, now you got your man back. What kind of energy does that bring? That brings an enormous amount of energy. So now already what I was going to do, now my man is back. I'm so ready for action now. So when I look at this Indiana team, when you insert, because again, Dame was out for a month, right? Dame's been out since March the 18th. So I equate that to an injury. And I saw Steph Curry go out of the lineup in 22, and he was out of the lineup for almost a month. He gets back in the lineup in the playoffs in 22, and they start rolling. I think that this Milwaukee team, they get a jolt of energy from Damian Lillard. To get Damian Lillard back in the lineup.
So is Dame playing today?
I'm not sure if he's playing. I haven't heard that he's playing today, but he's been cleared. He's been cleared. 100% he's been cleared. He's off blood thinners, and he's been cleared. So the question is whether or not he's going to be in the lineup. But just to see him and the fact that he may be able to go, that gives us an even bigger boost of energy. Ox, yeah. I feel like this Indiana team, as good as they are, and as potent as they are as a transition team, as good as Tyrese Halliburton has become as a shot creator and a distributor throughout the course of this season, I think that Giannis is just too much. And I've seen guys throughout the course of their career basically take over a series, whether it's offensively, whether it's defensively. I've seen guys completely take over a series. I think Giannis is that good that he can take over this series. And I think him in particular, because you and me had this conversation, Ox, about a month ago. In fact, this has been an ongoing conversation. Ox, those indictment papers are already on the district attorney's table.
Yes, sir.
They're already on. He's just waiting to sign them to issue the warrant. Giannis ain't trying to hear that. No, Giannis is not trying to. He is not trying to hear that. Y'all got me confused on what I really am.
Chill, it's two things. Chill, like you said, Giannis is that dominant, and I believe so. We talked about it. I think Giannis can win 3 of these games, and it's just the other guys got to get one more for him. I just don't see what everybody sees in Indiana. I don't mean any disrespect by it. You know what I'm saying? I know they're a good basketball team. I don't see when I look at that squad, I see a good basketball team. I see a team that can have some exciting runs. I don't see dominance. I don't see a like championship pedigree. I don't see winning. I love Pascal Siakam. I mean, obviously Tyrese Halliburton's a hell of a basketball player. I'm just having a hard time putting it together, you know? I really am.
And you, Ox, being the basketball connoisseur that you are and watching as much as you've watched, Sure, you'll see players and you'll see guys who are really good, and you'll see a collection of guys who are really good. But I think the difference in this series is you guys don't have that. And that's the difference right there. And when you look at Giannis and you look at the rest of these guys, you don't have that. And I think that is better than what you guys have. Just that thing right there alone. I think that's better than now. Can I say that moving forward in the playoffs? I'm not going to go that far. But just for this specific series and just this right here, you guys don't have that. And that's the difference between y'all winning and losing. Because I think the rest of the stuff that they have, I think it's enough to supplement. And Giannis is the guy who's making it clear. It's what I equated to, Ox, is I got enough heart for all of us. I just need y'all to roll with me. That's it. I got
with that being said, though, Chill, I think Giannis does have that about him. Yeah. But I don't think this team lacks heart. Yeah. Like the Bucks. And one thing too I wanted to talk about, Chill, is the fact that people laugh at those type of statements. Like, oh, it's a, what do you mean you gotta have heart or killer instinct or this and that? So my thing is, how do people believe in ability to choke? Right? People always say this person choked. This person, the lights were too bright. So if you're telling me that some people, for certain people, you can choke, if it's possible for you to be a choke artist and the lights be too bright, how come it's not possible for me to be the type of person that turns up in those type of situations? You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't the pendulum swing both ways? Like, if for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So if you believe that this person can fold under pressure, why don't you believe that this person has that killer in them that turns up in these situations that were made for this type of stuff? So I get confused by that.
The reason why, Ox, I think because you need that other thing to be able to turn up. So what? Just because I need that other thing to turn up, that doesn't mean that I can't do it. And some of us are less than, unfortunately, right? And we do need that other thing to turn up. And when we get it, you see it. Like I said, I've said this to you in the past, Ox, and I stand on it. As the great Mr. Bobby Bird says, man walked taller when he walked with James Brown.
No doubt.
If I'm running with Giannis, yes, I'm gonna stick my chest out a little bit more. Yes, okay. I am. I'm gonna be a little bit more confident. I'm gonna talk a little more shit if I got this dude running with me. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna talk anyway. But if I got him running with me, 100%, my confidence level is a lot higher. So the idea of being able to perform at that high of a level in those situations is 100% contingent on who you got with you. It's a confidence thing. And if I got a guy like Giannis that I'm running with, if I got a guy like LeBron James that I'm running with, or Luka, hell yes, I'm gonna stick my chest out a little bit more. And I think, to answer your question, these guys that don't see it that way, I think that they're looking at it from the aspect of only being on one side. They only want to see you choke. No. Because if I'm choking, I got to be able to get busy too. I have to be able to do that.
Right. Okay, Chill. Let's get a game one prediction. A game starts in 35 minutes, y'all. Hope y'all ready. Let's get a game one prediction for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. Who's coming out hot?
I think that Milwaukee sets the tone. I think Indiana's going to come out, and I think Indiana's going to play their game. I think that they're going to play with a lot of pace. I think that they're going to try to play fast. I think that they're going to try to get a lot of things easy. I think Giannis puts a ridiculous amount of pressure on their defense, particularly the big fella Turner. I think he puts a lot of pressure on their front line. I think he beats up on them. I think he wears them down. I think Milwaukee gets this game. I do, Ox. I think Milwaukee gets game one. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's that prediction. Game one for Chill goes to Milwaukee. Real quick, we got a new YouTube member. D1's Dissect. Dissect became a YouTube member. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother.
Super chat from Void Century. Void Century says Cavaliers, Buccaneers, Musketeers, Miami and MF and 5.
Good luck, brother. Good luck. Good luck, brother. All I gotta say is I'll be surprised if they get one. I'll be blown away.
They're going to get one, Chill.
I'll be blown away if they get one game from Cleveland. They should not get one game from them. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. But you know what, Void Century? I got to tell you, I hate Miami in 5, but I don't hate Miami in 7. Highly unlikely. But I do not hate it. I mean, I believe in Heat culture. I 100%. I am bought in and sold on Heat culture. I am 100% bought in and sold on Eric Spoelstra. I am 100% bought in on the fact that Tyler Hero will give you 35 anytime. He can do that. I am bought in and sold that Davion, Drew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo are going to lead a real good defense. So, no, I don't think Miami will win the series. But if Miami in 7 happens, you won't see me looking shocked.
It's going to be a lot more competitive than I think it is, Ox. Is that what we're doing?
I do believe so, Chill. I really do believe it's going to be a little more. And even if they were to lose in 5, like let's say the Cavs 1-5 or even swept, I think it'll be 5 or 4. Difficult games. Yeah, and a sweep is a sweep. If we beat you by a collective of 4 total points and it's a sweep, you still got swept. You know what I'm saying?
100%. But not all sweeps are the same, right? So to your point, I mean, if you lose 4 straight and they dog fights, right? All 4 of them, like we came down to the final possession. Yeah, sure. I'm one of these people that think that if you get swept, you're not close. But I mean, if we're in dog fights. Right. If we're in dog fights, there's no reason for me to believe that, we aren't right there. Even though we did get swept, we are not. Now, if I'm just getting handled in the series and we lose 4 straight, that's different. I think that's completely different. But in this particular situation, if you in dog fights and it's a 1-possession game and we got an overtime game, we ain't that far away. We not.
Right. Right. Real quick, let's get through a couple super chats. Another one for Void Century. He said, chill. If you think psychopath Spo isn't getting 1 game, you crazy.
I don't think they're getting 1 game. As good of a coach as you are, and I won't argue that I think Spo is the best coach in the game. I think that you have a talent deficiency, you have a scheme deficiency. The stuff that you want to run against Cleveland, the stuff that you want to do against Cleveland is going to be ridiculously difficult considering their personnel, what they got on the perimeter, how switchable they are, how they gang rebound, what they have on their front line. As good as Khalil Ware is, just like Ricochet is, he a rook. He's new here. So we can treat him very much like that. So that's not to say that Miami won't be competitive, but I think that Cleveland just has too much, and they should overwhelm these guys. Miami should not get a game in this series. Shouldn't.
Chill. I've been hearing a couple. So that game was over about 14 hours ago. In these 14 hours, Chill, you know what I've been hearing a lot of? Who is going to be the best D Mitch in this series? Seriously.
To be honest with you, and to be honest with you, as much as I'm a Donovan Mitchell guy, I think he's the best 2 guard in the game. I think he's one of the better bucket getters in the game. And I think that he's shown me throughout the course of his career that I can get busy in the playoffs. But what Davion Mitchell has shown me as a defender, not just a rotation defender, but as a defender, I will make your life difficult. I'm great at beating guys to spots. I'm extremely physical, but in a smart way. It's not dirty. It's not reckless. It's good enough where I can sit on your left hand. I can sit on your right hand. I can keep you off balance. I can make you take tough shots. When a guy is taking tough shots throughout the course of the game, that wears on him. Trae Young is a prime example of that. They straight. I thought they wore Trae Young down last night. And the fact that Trae Young now had to speed himself up to get back in the game because he wasn't very good early. I think he was 2 for 11 to start the game. And then Davion Mitchell comes in and he's dealing with guys like Ricochet. As small as Davion Mitchell is, he's dealing with guys like Ricochet. He's dealing with guys like Karis LeVert and doing a damn good job on them. And also Trae Young dealing with guys like that, making their lives difficult. So he's gonna be crucial in the series, Ox. I'm not gonna argue that at all. But I think Donovan Mitchell will be the best player of the 2 of those guys. I'm not gonna argue. Right.
Yeah, I think so as well. Let's talk about my favorite series of this first round. First round, East and West. My favorite series is the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Chill. When it comes to punching people in the mouth in game 1, we've seen Kawhi do it time and time again. But have we seen it against Jokic? I mean, they went up 3-1 against him.
Yes, they did. And
but wasn't enough, right?
No, it wasn't. And that was a younger Jokic too, Ox.
Yeah, it was. It was. Definitely was. But chill. This is a new day. This is a new Clippers rocket. I mean, Clippers roster. It's a Rocket.
Sure.
It's a new Clippers roster. The Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets been kind of rocky. We don't know if Jamal's healthy. We don't know what's happening. A lot of things been going on. It's kind of weird in Denver. We even seen an interview yesterday. Look like somebody put their hands on Aaron Gordon. And I'm not saying that has anything to do with basketball or anything, but I hate to see stuff like that. I don't like to see people all beat up and bruised and stuff like that. It's like, man, I hope he's all right. And I don't know, it's his business, whatever happened. But I'm just saying, things are weird going on right now.
Right.
What do we expect from this game one?
Well, the first thing is Kawhi Leonard, to your point, Ox. Kawhi Leonard, with the exception of what happened with Joker, when he's healthy, I mean, I've seen him get busy against any and everybody. Line them up. Giannis, James, Chris Paul, and all of these. I've seen him get busy against the best of them.
KD too. KD caught that work.
Also, absolutely. KD can catch these hands too. And Kawhi Leonard, his biggest issue has been his health. Well, he looks like he's prepared to go. He looks like he's prepared to rock. And I saw him just 2 years ago in the playoffs. In the first 2 games when they played against Phoenix, Ox, he looked like the best player in the playoffs. He looked like the best player in the playoffs. Now, here we are 2 years later where they've managed him, where he might not have that burst that he used to have, but I can still get to the spots that I'm able to get to. I can still raise up on you. I can still get to the rim. I might not have what I had 4 or 5 years ago, but I still got some of that. And I'm more comfortable using it when it's necessary. I don't have my foot on the gas on the regular like I did. Well, now you couple in James Harden with that, who's the downhill guy that he is, who can get to the rim and still finish. James Harden ain't punching it over you like he did 4 or 5 years ago. He can still get to the rim and finish. Ox, the difference is, in addition to how good Joker is, because you got the best. If you got the best player in the series, you got a chance. Just like I talked about with Indiana and Milwaukee. If you got the best player in the series, you got a chance. But then I want to add in, I don't buy into the logic of, is Jamal Murray healthy? Because, I mean, I feel like everybody's beat up come playoff time, and Jamal Murray is about as healthy as he's going to be. If he's in the lineup, he's ready to go. And for some odd reason, I don't know what it is, but he gives Dunn the business every time he sees him. And that 2-man action between both Murray and Joker, I think it works. I think it works tremendously. So today, what I see is I see Ty Lue throwing different lineups at Denver. I see him keeping Zubac on the floor when Joker's on the floor. Whenever Joker goes out, Zubac goes out. And whenever Joker comes back in the game, Zubac comes back in the game. And I feel like Zubac is going to be tied to Joker. Joker's gonna have to get those guys, both Murray, Aaron Gordon, and MPJ. He's gonna have to get those guys involved in the game as much as possible, but he can't be shut down, and I don't think he's gonna be shut down. I like Denver in this game. I like Denver in game one.
Okay, we've been hearing some concerns about Denver's depth. Does Denver have depth issues? Do you think?
Well, again, I got Russ coming off the bench. I got Peyton Watson coming off the bench. I got Strawther coming off the bench. So I got 8 guys, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have 9, 10 guys like Cleveland has or like the Celtics have, but I got 8 solid guys that I can go to. I think Peyton Watson can give me some quality minutes. Russ, for all intents and purposes, can be a bit erratic, but I think that because Adelman is who he is and Russ knows that hook is quick with him, I think that he's very well aware that when I get on the floor, I can't be willy-nilly out here. I got to be productive immediately. Otherwise, I'm not going to be out here long, because Coach Adelman has no problem giving you the hook, Ox. He's got no problem giving you the hook and telling you to come sit over here, and I'm going to go with somebody else and stick with them. So I think Russ gets on the floor, and I think Russ does what's going to be productive early and often. I think he's going to be good for them.
Okay, well, that's what we got so far for game one. Chill predicts that the Denver Nuggets take care of business, y'all. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. Got a couple super chats. Let's get through a few more.
Yes,
Eric Espinoza says, first time on here. Appreciate y'all fellas' content while I'm working my route. Playoffs are finally here, baby.
Absolutely, brother. No doubt. Whether you're a mailman, whether you're driving a truck, whatever you're doing, man, we here for you. That's what we here for. Absolutely, brother.
Yes, sir, Eric Espinoza. The pleasure is 100% ours. Thanks for showing up, dog.
Yes, sir.
Kent Lipscomb Jr., Tim Duncan, top 5. Get them likes up.
Get the likes up. Mm-hmm. Get them likes up.
Get those likes up, y'all. And Tim Duncan is most certainly top 5. I got him 4 myself. The Tribe 1. Heat and 6. Also, Nico, Heat and 6. Okay, try. Okay. Wait a second. I just went right past.
No, you heard that right.
I'm not mad at you. The Tribe 1 says Heat and 6. Also, Nico was getting scapegoated. He literally built the team around Luka. He didn't want this. L ownership, W Dirk, W Lakers, Lakers in 5. You could have left those last parts out. Lakers in 5.
It's interesting, Ox, that you, as the general manager, are blamed for everything, not realizing that I do have a boss. Like there are things that have to get okayed. I don't just get to do whatever I want. I don't just get to just operate with full anonymity. No. I gotta answer to some people too. The executive vice president, I gotta talk to him. The vice president, I gotta talk to him before I do anything. So when I go into this room, when we sit down, and I'm saying, yo, the 25-year-old franchise player that we have, who is a top 4 player in the world, I want to move off of him. Immediately, management is looking at me going, why do you want to do that? Why is that a thing right now? What's the reason for doing that? And then he goes into a spiel about the money. And then they go into a spiel about the money. Okay, this isn't just me saying this, right? This is them bringing this to me because they might have brought this to him also, Ox. We can't leave that out. And he was like, why do you want to do this? And then they might have said, well, the money. And then I go, Ox, well, he isn't great. He isn't great as a defender, and there has been issues with his conditioning. And then maybe I can get tricked isn't the word. I can get coerced into doing this. But then I'm also thinking, wait a minute. When this whole thing goes down, this is who they're going to blame right here. When this whole thing jumps off, I'm the one who's going to be on the hook for this. So do I really want to do this? Even though I did get coerced into doing this, which I think has a lot to do with it. I think Nico, I think there's some unfairness going on with Nico right now. I do.
Yeah. The thing too about what Alan Norris said earlier about the cameraman like panning to him was just crazy. I think it was just kind of an angle too, and so like Nico's kind of looking this way, and like people are like, it makes it look like he was, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's just the optics thing, man. Mm-hmm. But shout out to those guys in Dallas. Hopefully they have a better season coming up. Okay, chill. Game 3, we're taking it back east again. We started in the east, now we out west. We're taking it back to the East Coast. We got the New York Knickerbockers facing off against the Detroit Pistons.
It's the Pistons team.
Is this one the hardest to pick out of these 3 so far? Jim?
No, I don't think so, because I think we got a Detroit team that's coming into these playoffs ready to rock and roll. I think that they're the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed team, and I don't mean that in a happy way, in a soft way. Just more like, yo, we in the playoffs. This is dope. Not realizing that playoffs is a different intensity. There's a different way to play. We already know that your toughness isn't in question. We already know that your hard work isn't in question. I mean, this is a Detroit team that lost as many games as they lost last year. This is a Detroit team that added some pieces that didn't really blow up on the radar for other teams. But this is a vet. This is a vet New York team. And with a vet New York team, I think their attitude coming into this is these dudes, as good as they are and as good as they've been, this is the playoffs. And with it being the playoffs, we cannot let these guys come in here and get a game. No, we can't. So whatever we have to do with Cade, whether it's switching, whether it's funneling him to the corner, whether it's blitzing him, we got to get the ball out of his hands, and we got to make those other guys who are new to this, we got to make those guys make plays. And if we can do that in addition to Jalen Brunson doing what he does on offense, in addition to OG Anunoby being what he is on defense, in addition to those things, in addition to Cat being the stretch 4, stretch 5 that he is, I think that they got a real good shot at winning today. I think that they win today.
Okay. Y'all heard it here first, man. Y'all heard it here first. We got one more super chat from none other than Cowboy Bob. Cowboy Bob says, "Thank you for being a friend, Chill. LOL. Chill V10. Please remind people Tim missed minutes in games due to coaching, but Knicks win 125 to Pistons 119.
I don't think they give up 119 points to the Pistons. I think that's a lot. And with the Knicks defense, I think I think that's asking a lot. I mean, if the Pistons score 100, if the Knicks gave up 119, that tells me that they had a gas. And I don't think the Pistons, if they score 119, they ain't giving up 125. No, I don't think that at all. So I think this is a Pistons team that the Knicks are going to tie. I think they're going to tie their anchor to Cade Cunningham. I think that the plan is to cut the head off the snake, slow him down. If we slow him down, we slow the rest of them dudes down. And also, Ox, and a lot of people aren't talking about this, we got to go after Tobias Harris. We have to go after him. And we got to do everything that we can to slow him down. Like, he can't get going. Because you know how I feel about those rotation guys. Those rotation guys get going, we got a huge problem. And I think Tobias Harris is one of those guys that once he gets going and he looks solid, I think he gives a jolt of energy to the rest of those guys. So I'm good.
Okay. No doubt. I see everybody that clicked on the link. I see y'all in the lobby. We will be getting to y'all very soon. But first, we got to talk about the Timberwolves versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I think a lot of people, most people are, highly anticipating this series. Yep. We know that Anthony Edwards last season went down to the desert, swept KD, Book, and the rest of the Phoenix Suns. Now, can he go to La La Land and do the same thing to Luka and Bron?
Well, I saw him last year as a kid show KD the door. He showed KD and Devin Booker the door. Now, don't get me wrong, Ox. KD and Devin Booker ain't Luka and James. I ain't going to do that.
That's what they say.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. But I say that to say that the kid is not afraid. Right? The kid is not afraid. The kid is not afraid off the strength that he looks at everything that they do, and he's just a much better player today than he was back then. And he's got that playoff experience. On top of that, he's a playoff riser. I think the difference in this series, when you're talking about Minnesota and the Lakers, the difference in this series is going to be Julius Randle. And what I mean when I say Julius Randle is going to be the difference in this series, Ox, his ability to rebound and hold the Lakers to one possession, in addition to him being able to knock down shots, him being able to hold the Lakers to one possession, getting on the glass, that's going to slow down their offense. And if that can slow down their offense, Minnesota's got a shot in this. However, the Lakers, they do have James. They do have Luka. And both of these guys, their games go up in the playoffs. We've seen it more times than not. And the difference in this is going to be, how do we slow down Austin Reeves? If they slow down Austin Reeves tonight, Minnesota's got a shot to win. I don't think that happens off the strength of, I think that Luka and James are going to be too good. I'm going to give game one to the Lakers.
Yep. Game one to the Lakers.
I'm going to give game one to the Lakers.
Okay, chill. Real quick, could I get a quick recap of your four? Just for anybody that didn't come in. We got about 600 people in here today, and all of you guys weren't here from the beginning. We got Chill. We Chill. You did your predictions on Bucks Pacers, Nuggets Clippers, Knicks Pistons, and Lakers Timberwolves. Let's get a quick recap, Chill.
So a quick recap game. The first game today between Indiana and the Bucks. I got Milwaukee going in there and winning game one. I think Giannis is going to be too much. That second game between the Clippers and Denver, I think the Clippers hold serve. Not Clippers, I'm sorry. I think Denver holds serve. I think that they win that game one in their building. Same logic with the Knicks and Detroit. I think the Knicks hold serve, and I think that they win game one. And I think that the Lakers, I think they hold serve too, and they win game one. The only road team I'm giving some grace to is Milwaukee. I think they go into Indiana and win game one.
Well, shout out to Milwaukee.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Real quick, Chill. Now, this is not a super chat, but an old friend of yours, somebody that's we've had regular interaction with, wanted to let you know that you're lucky that Andrew G wasn't at that fan versus hater event. I would have cooked you in the B-ball debate.
Ox, last time I checked, didn't you drop the link in the chat? So you can come up here and do it right now.
That's
you could come up
fact.
here. You could come up here and do it right now. How about that, my man? We can get to the bottom of that right now. You can come up here right now and do it. While you running your mouth.
Andrew G wants you to know that those were L picks.
Absolutely. You could come up here and do it right now. That's how we can get to the bottom of that. So forget the fans or that I was dealing with. Let's forget all of them. You could come up here right now and we can handle this. Right now.
Oh, man.
But anyway,
Andrew G, I usually don't do this, Andrew G, but here's the link again, just in case just in case you feel it some type of way. There's the link. But in the meantime, let's show respect to the guys that had the nuts to click on the link and weren't just on the chat talking jive.
Yes,
let's
sir.
start, first of all, with my main man, Classic. What's up, dog?
Yo, what up? What up, guys?
What up?
What up, man? Man, this is a great day, man. I could barely even sleep last night. I was ready, man. I done put in my some picks on FanDuel. I got the Nuggets getting swept. I got the Bucks getting swept. I ain't put too much on it though, but I'm that's what I'm rooting for. And
Nuggets getting swept, Classic?
Yeah,
you think so?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I don't really think that's gonna happen, but I got a little confidence in it. I put a little money on it. Nothing too major.
You don't got Denver winning a game in that series, Classic? I need to know why. Why
honestly,
don't you have
man,
them winning a game?
I think that's just more the hatred in me. Really, I think they're definitely gonna win a game. But
embrace your inner hater. Yeah. Embrace him. That's cool. It's all right.
But I had to put a little something on it, just in case it happened. That's what I'm really wanting. And then I agree with you, Chill, with that Lakers Timberwolves series. I mean, honestly, man, I'm not even concerned about Luka and Bron, but like Austin Reeves really scares me because his ability to draw fouls, like that's one of the things I think he does like great is draw fouls, especially when he's like in that mid range. And I just hope that the Timberwolves don't take him lightly because they focusing too much on Bron and Luka. I hope they take him serious as well.
That's why I want to put Anthony Edwards on Austin Reeves because I want to take him out the series.
But see, I don't want to do that because I don't want Ant to get in foul trouble. And I think Austin Reeves can get Ant in foul trouble, and I don't want that to happen. So I would rather them figure something else out. Like I don't really think Mike Conley should be playing a lot this series because of like they got three guys that can attack mismatches pretty well. But I don't know. That's something that they're gonna have to figure out because, like I said, that really concerns me is Austin Reeves. And then what were you saying?
The Minnesota Timberwolves have a really good defense collectively. So I'm not really concerned with Mike Conley one-on-one as a defender because they're so I think that they're so in tune as a defense. I mean, I heard Rudy Gobert say something a couple of days ago where he said that, yeah, I'm going to get crossed up. I'm going to get dunked on. Some guys are going to hit tough shots on me. But go back and check the hundreds and hundreds of plays that didn't happen. And he's 100% right. Go check the tape where those teams that we played against got stifled for 3 or 4 minutes where they couldn't score. I had a lot to do with that. That had a lot to do with me because as my quarterback and as a defense, pointing people in the right direction, my ability to rebound, my ability to rim protect, my ability as a rim deterrent. I had a lot to do with that. So I'm not as concerned with Mike Conley as you might be because I think that you're looking at this from a one-on-one standpoint, and that's not the way Minnesota plays defense.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in that series. I'm rooting for the Timberwolves. And then with this, the Knicks, Pistons, man, I think people are kind of disrespecting the Knicks. I don't really think the Pistons have a chance in this series. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Cat. I think if he would have stayed on the Timberwolves would have been the 1 or 2 seed this year. So I think New York is going to get them out of here pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Classic. We appreciate you always coming in with your inputs, your takes, and hey, I don't got no stock in the Nuggets, man. I hope you win that money.
I don't know, man. You've been talking kind of weird lately, Ox. I don't know what your ties are to now, man.
I just respect basketball, dog. That's it.
Right. You guys have a good one, man.
Later, brother. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, man. For me, I mean, obviously the Kings aren't here. You know what I'm saying? So it's this whole day for me is about Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, of course, not just Kawhi. Yeah, my bad.
Sure.
The Clippers. But What would be better than Kawhi getting a quick 4 games and being able to rest and get ready for the second round in the playoffs? Classic. I hope that hits, man. Sweep the Nuggets. Bring out the brooms, y'all. Let's get let's start a campaign called Sweep the Nuggets. I'm with that, y'all. Let's make some signs, t-shirts, everything. Clips in this many. Let's do it.
Clips in 4.
Let's do it. Okay, who we got? My man, Lee Mack. What's up, dog?
Hey, boys. How's it going?
What's up, brother? What's going on with you?
I was just thinking of all, like, the great, like, playoff performers. Who do you guys feel like shone the brightest when the lights were on? Like, didn't show any kind of phase where, like, okay, I'm made for this, whether it's Shaq or whether it's MJ or LeBron or whoever.
We have a bunch of guys that have been awesome, but they've also faltered. But, you know, guys like James, like once they get a taste of the playoffs, I mean, I've seen it too many times. I mean, Luka is second to Jordan in points per game. Luka is going to give you quality. And Luka is not afraid of the moment. He's shown that countless times. We had a mishap with Joker last season, but like when I think about all-time great playoff performance, Jordan, James, Luka, Magic. If that's why I was so high on Dallas, because Anthony Davis is awesome in the playoffs. Anthony Davis is not good.
Oh, and he dropped 40 points, and
he is awesome in the playoffs.
Yeah, he showed up. He showed up, and
he is awesome in the playoffs.
Didn't have enough around him to make it work, but
he is. Yeah, he is awesome in the playoffs.
Before I got one more record to show you guys. Another record. This is, I think, you like Miles Davis, right?
I do like Miles Davis.
Of course. Oh, that's the sketches thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite ones. I got that one, and I got Around Midnight as well.
Oh yeah. Those are good ones, man. You got quite the collection, man.
Yeah, my dad used to collect them, and then I had to downsize when I moved in with my partner, and then we moved. She doesn't like too many records around, so I had to downsize to a few. So I kept some of the classics, and I'll try and show them if I'm home. I'm able to show you guys. So if I can show you a couple each time, that's kind of fun. All right.
Appreciate it. Well, today, Lee Mack, I know you're going to have some good music in the air with some good basketball on TV, dog. Enjoy these playoffs, man. We'll see you hopefully Thursday. Pull up, click the link. You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yes, sir.
Maybe next time at Starbucks. A little less, easier to talk. All right.
Have a good one. Yeah, man, that Sketches from Spain. That's a really good album, y'all. Y'all go get that, man. I'm telling you. And there's no sound quite like vinyl, y'all. Check it out. Who's next? What we got? Oh, my man, big fan Breezy.
Yes, sir.
Always love when Brooklyn's in the house. Breezy, what's going on?
Yeah, I just wanted to say shout to Chill, aka It Man. You seen It Man?
I have.
You seen It Man when he took on 10 versus 1? he was jacking him up, man. That was good. I'm still watching. I didn't watch the whole thing, but great content, man. I love it.
Absolutely, brother.
But I was just coming to say, if y'all Piston fans out there, the way that the Pistons can beat the Knicks is they have to mouse in the house, make Brunson play defense. You know what I'm saying? And I heard you say they got to attack Tobias Harris if the Knicks are going to win. I was going to say the opposite. Tobias Harris got to get going early. You know, maybe the P&R between Cade and Tobias Harris would draw Cat to out of the paint or draw Mitchell Robinson out of the paint. And then, you know what I mean? Maybe one of those players could, play downhill like Schroeder. Schroeder could be a big X factor in this series.
Yes,
so I'm actually looking at ways the Pistons can win. That's just what I do. That's just what I do.
And on top of that, because my man, big fan Breezy, doesn't like to be the villain, but he is the villain sometimes, no doubt. And I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't mind seeing the Knicks take an L in this series. To be honest with you, that would be a big deal to see Dennis Schroeder end up outplaying Cameron Payne and outplaying their rotation guards and Miles McBride. That'll be a big deal for them. That can't happen, and I think Tibbs knows that can't happen.
Nah, that's all I got. I'm just enjoying the show.
Right on, Breezy. Appreciate you. I'm happy. I'm happy you got the ability to come up here and spew some Nick hate. I know y'all Brooklyn dudes. I know y'all need to do that sometimes. So I'm happy you were able to do that today. Enjoy the first round of the playoffs, brother.
Thank you, man. I'll be top there. I'm in the chat.
No doubt. Okay. Real quick, let me see. I think we got a couple super chats, and then we'll get right back to the lobby. But as y'all know, here on Chill with Chill, super chats come first.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac Westside says, I give game 1 to LA. Luka, Bron, and Reeves are going to get a lot of attention, leaving Rui with a lot of mismatches. Hope the Lakers take advantage.
I think that Julius Randle I think Julius Randle can take advantage of that mismatch between him and Rui. And Rui is one of the better transition players that James has ever played with, which I think is dope. But I think that as a collection with what Minnesota has, I mean, they could compete in this series. They 100% can compete in this series. And I think that a guy like Rui, yes, he's going to be pivotal in this, but I think that they could slow him down too. Yes, 100% they could slow him down.
No doubt. I hope. I want Rui to play good. I like Rui. I always have. Y'all get ready, man. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes, and we should be getting a tip off the Milwaukee and Indiana game.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Is it going to start on time, Chill? I know the NBA.
No.
No. All right. We got another super chat from Cowboy Bob. He says, that's why I like the show. Love hearing check ball. This is the time that Cats playoff series can be the same and be enough to win. OG the Beast.
Absolutely, yo. Absolutely. I mean, playoff series like this are times when guys like Cat, guys like OG, who OG had a really, he had a tough time last year. He was dealing with injuries. In fact, he's been dealing with injuries throughout the course of his career. This is one of the first seasons where he's been healthy going into the playoffs. And the fact that he's healthy going into the playoffs, that's a big deal for him. So those allegations of him being made of glass and him not being able to perform in the playoffs, this can boost not just him, but this can also boost Cat going up against a tough Detroit team in Isaiah Stewart, in Jalen Duren, in that front line, and he can get busy against them. Oh, 100%. This could definitely be that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Indestructible Trader
became
a YouTube minute. Shout out to you shout out to you for being indestructible. That's what's up.
Man, how dope is that to be indestructible?
Real superhero vibes. Let's see. We got somebody in the lobby. It's been a while since you've clicked the link. Happy to have you here. We got Primo in the lobby. What's up, Primo?
What up?
What's going on, man? I see hard work pay off, huh?
Y'all we can't hear you, Primo.
You can't hear me?
Now you hot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, now you hot.
I said I see hard work pay off, huh?
Yeah, it's working.
I see right after Skip.
It's working. It's working. Skip problem is that Skip deals with outdated logic. That's the problem. So
in the same logic.
He deals with outdated logic and the same logic. So Skip doesn't have anything that's up to date. That's why people keep throwing monkey wrenches in his logic, and he can't counter neither. That's what makes it worse. So
Skip been saying the same thing for 15 years straight. But I want to get on a couple things. You think Golden State gonna beat Houston?
Yeah, I do. And the reason why I do is because of Curry. Yeah, the reason why I do is because of Curry. For that reason right there. I know that Curry can get slowed down. We just saw that, right? We just saw that he got slowed down. But I feel like throughout the course of a series with those young guys throwing different bodies at Curry's been here so many different times, and he's so good at maneuvering, getting shots off. And Draymond is so good at getting him involved in the game that it's going to be difficult to completely shut him down throughout the course of the series. And they own Houston on top of that. Like, they own Houston. Houston has never, since Curry been on the crew, Houston has not beaten them in a playoff series. Not one time.
Yeah, but this ain't that team, though. That team.
No, it's not. Now, don't get me wrong, Primo. I will tell you this. Them young boys over there looking at Golden State like, yo, we about to get these old dudes up out of here. We about to get these old dudes up out of here. Man. And the Warriors on the flip side to that is like, man, these kids think they really coming in here and beating us. Get the hell out of here. That ain't happening. No,
I think he may want a little revenge, man.
From 22?
Revenge from that Boston series. And then nobody saying they can win.
He don't got Jason Tatum, though. This is a different team. I just don't think Houston's good enough to keep it real.
He does not, or Jaylen Brown.
Just because they got Jimmy Butler now.
And Jimmy not going for that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna have to put too much of a Min Thompson pressure on Steph Curry, and I don't think dudes like what's my dude Tari. Yeah. I don't think dudes like Tari and Jabari. I don't think they could get with Jimmy. I think Jimmy looking at them two like, man, y'all pups, y'all not ready.
These young boys, nah. I think Jimmy takes offense to that too, by the way. Like, this is who you got for me? This is who you dealing with? That's not to say that Jabari is less than, because I think Jabari is a dog. I think Tari is a dog. But I think that Jimmy Butler, for being, especially in the playoffs, being around as long as he's been around and dealing with he went up against Kawhi Leonard. He dominated Drew Holiday, right? He's going up against LeBron James in the playoffs. And he's looking at these young boys going, this who you got for me? Nah, you got to do better than that. No. You have to do better than that, because this ain't going to work.
I'm looking at Detroit, too. I'm thinking Detroit might could take that series over there.
I think it goes 7, to be honest with you. I think it goes 7, and I think the Knicks and Jalen Brunson in particular, I think I get a masterclass from him in this series.
I don't like their offense. Like, when it get tightened up, they don't really got nothing but Jalen Brunson. They just go with what he gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, I think you got a lot of guys like that. I feel the same way about Detroit. I mean, they got a long ball shooter in in Malik Beasley, and they got a long ball shooter in Hardaway Jr. But I mean, their engine is Cade Cunningham. Well, the same logic goes for the Knicks. Their engine is Jalen Brunson, but they got one of the better. They got the best stretch big in the game.
Right, it shouldn't be, and that's the problem when they get into an offensive set. Sometimes it just seems like they don't know what they're doing, and then Jalen Brunson got to go shoot a midi, a floater, and that don't work every time. Them long threes don't be working.
I don't think it works every time with any team, but I think that they got enough offense that they should be able to handle Detroit. I just think it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right, good to talk to you, Primo. I know where to find you at, brother.
Yep, definitely.
All right, Primo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not too sure about that New York Detroit series either. I don't really have a pick. I don't really have a take on it. I think that's just one of those series I'm just gonna have to sit back and watch.
Right.
Oh, Andrew G with the members chat. Andrew G has been a member for 19 months. Much love to you for that, Andrew G. Shout out to you. He says, I will admit Tatum's playmaking is almost elite.
It is elite. I don't think Tatum's playmaking is almost anything. He's an elite playmaker. 100% he is. There's talk that Jason Tatum could be an all-league defender. I think he's elite on the defensive side of the ball, especially this season in particular. I don't think we give him nearly as much credit as a passer. How he throws guys open. I'm not going to say that he's to the level of Luka or LeBron James as a passer, but he's damn good. He is damn good at that stuff. Where I watch him get downhill and he's got 2 or 3 guys on him. And even though I don't like the fact that he won't score it at the basket, because I do think it's by design, the fact that he's able to find Drew Holiday at the long ball line or Derek White at the long ball line and in space where you can't find guys like that. So I 100% think that Jason Tatum is an elite playmaker. I don't think he's a good playmaker. I think he's elite.
Oh, my bad. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I got my playback tab open.
Yeah,
it's like my playback tab is always open. So sometimes like somebody on PC will start to like watch a game. It's usually Ron or Claire, and then I'll just hear it. I'm like, what the hell is that? I thought that was your TV or something. Chill. I was gonna say,
Nope.
Okay, so we good.
Yeah.
Bob Wick sent a super chat. He says, ideally, I'd love for Boston to go back to back. However, I can live with OKC taking it too.
Also, yeah, I could. And could it? Is it something that could happen? It should. I mean, they won 68 games this year. Why is that ridiculous to think that they can't win it? I mean, they can win it. They got a good enough team. They got a good enough defense. They got a good enough rotation. They got a damn good coach. And again, they won 68 games. Why is it ridiculous to think they can't win it? They 100% can win it.
Yeah. The one thing about it is for me, like, it's we've been watching basketball for so long, so we've seen so many different teams win championships. You know what I mean? That I understand, like, only one team can win it a year. So if I say I don't think OKC's going to win it, that's not me knocking them or knocking Denver just because I got the Celtics. I understand only one team can win it every year, and it's more than likely not going to be the team that you like. You know what I mean? So anybody,
and it also doesn't mean you hate them either, Ox.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I don't hate Denver. I just want the Clippers to win. You know what I mean? I don't hate OKC. I just think the Celtics are better. That's all. Great basketball regardless. Oh no, just write that one actually. Okay, let's get back to the lobby. We got a Johnny the Exposer.
Peace and blessings. What's good? What's good, Ox?
Peace,
what's
God.
good? What's good,
What's
Chill?
up, God?
Nothing but, you ready to go overboard, Chill? I told you we going overboard.
Hey,
we still floating here.
I'm more in tune with the fans today. You told me to let fans be fans more, so I'm doing that.
Are we still floating? My boy Spo got us floating. We chilling. Well, I got the flotation device. We still ain't sank yet, man. It's listen. The only team we fear in Miami is Boston. So when do we see Boston if we get past Cleveland? What, the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, in the East
right?
Finals.
Oh man, listen, man. All you Cleveland fans, I know y'all worried. You see what Wiggins did yesterday? Did you see Wiggins? Did you see how great my team looked, Chill? Listen.
No, I did.
Listen. Y'all in trouble, man. Can we get back on the boat though? Because y'all done tossed us off the playoff boat, but now we still floating around.
No, Jay, no. But I'm gonna let you be a fan. I'm already on a train that I got dragged on, unfortunately. So there's really not much I can say about that.
That's what I'm saying. But that's saying you go on the train, but you won't jump into this hot water. Look at these nice waters we got going on down here in Miami. Come jump on, put on that flotation device, get in these waters and swim, man. We about to do some damage in the playoffs, man.
Yo, Johnny, I will say, bro, it's hard to not love the Heat, bro. I've loved the Heat ever since D Wade got there, except for the Bron years. Other than that, I'm a Miami Heat dude, bro. I love the Heat, bro. I hope y'all pop the Cavaliers. I really do.
Imagine this, right? Imagine the Heat make the finals, the Warriors make the finals. Jimmy Butler versus Pat Riley.
I was just thinking about that yesterday.
NBA Finals.
I was literally just thinking that yesterday. I'm like, yo, if this would definitely, I'm in the Matrix. If the Miami Heat end up in the finals against the Warriors, I'm in the Matrix.
Chill, hold on, Chill. Because usually when something like this happens, Chill, you're a realist in. You're gonna have to reel the brother in here.
No. Overboard, Ox. We going overboard, Ox. We're allowed to go overboard, Ox. Is why I got this flotation device. We were kicked off the playoff boat. Everybody was on the yacht. Sipping, they thought it was over for us. No, we still here. Now look, everybody worried. Cleveland worried. You know, it's Cleveland too. On top of that, it's not like we face somebody. It's Cleveland. We're talking about the playoffs here.
Number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Won 64 games this year. Yep.
Okay. Well, all right. Oh, I got you. But okay, so let me stop being a fan. Let's just keep it real. Yep. So for tonight's matchup, right? I think something that nobody's mentioned for tonight's matchup for Minnesota is White Dante. Why everybody sleeping on White Dante?
Who is White Dante?
You don't know who White Dante is? There's only one white man in the world named Dante.
Dante DiVincenzo. What about
him? And he plays on Minnesota. Okay, yeah. He's a sneaky little factor for them. Because a lot of people talk about Austin Reed. No, he's sneaky because he's a good defender. He's a scrappy defender, and he can give you the good 25 minutes that they're going to need. And he could be that key role player that can get you a game. That's the point. And I don't think people realize that. Like he's a very scary player. Forget Julius Randle, forget McDaniels, forget Gobert. We know what Ant's going to do. But if DiVincenzo gives you one of those games where he's out here being scrappy and getting those hustle plays, the 50-50 balls, the Lakers.
Jay, can I get a 5-6 long ball game from DiVincenzo with like 2 steals? Can I get something like that from him in this playoff?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dante is that dude. That's another dude that the Knicks are missing. Now let's get to the Knicks, right? Because you were talking about Detroit. Y'all really be sleeping on Jalen Brunson. This dude truly steps up when the lights are bright. I want to talk about. Remember, he plays in New York. The lights are always bright. This kid this kid is gonna step up like he always does. He's been doing it for the last 3-4 playoffs. So about three playoffs for sure. He's gonna step up. He's gonna be the problem. That's gonna be the issue. And I think that's why they're gonna win that series. So I got the Knicks winning tonight as well.
I just think that, I mean, I as much as I talk about Jalen Brunson and as much as I talk about Cade Cunningham, and I do think that they're going to attack Jalen Brunson, but the Knicks got guys on the perimeter to protect him. They got Mikal Bridges. They got OG Anunoby. And Mikal Bridges, for all intents and purposes, hasn't been what I thought he would be, because he should be better as a defender, Jay. Like his screen navigation, I see it sometimes, and then I don't see it at all. I see him dying on screens. I see him looking for switches when in the past he's been a lot better as a screen navigator. He's been a lot better as a one-on-one defender. And I think that has to change in these playoffs in order for them to be viable. 100% it does.
You would say that's an effort thing, right? That's an effort thing, right?
100% it is. I don't think that his defense is just gone anywhere. I think his effort, and it's not his IQ as a defender. You know, he was an all-league defender at one point. So no, I don't think that's going anywhere. So
Miles Turner kicked it off with the first 3 ball of the playoffs. Miles Turner officially scored the first playoff points of 2025 with the 3 ball.
All right, so Ox, so you with me, right? Ox, you got your flotation device, you ready to jump in these warm waters? Let's go Heat.
I swim like Michael Phelps, brother. I don't need no flotation device. I'm in the water. I'm in the water.
Love it.
Listen, this is Miami. We got sharks out here. We got sharks because again, they hating on us. We got again. They don't want us to on this playoff boat, but we going all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals versus Boston, man.
No doubt. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, peace, brother.
I'm gonna be pulling for the Heat.
All right, brother. Peace and blessings,
yes,
y'all.
That's off. Yes, we inviting Neesmith to shoot. We want him shooting. Yes, sir. I apologize, folks. We just had tip off, so I could do 2 things at once. Yes, I
we
can.
We are multitasking 100%.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Next up, we got Rock Out Deuce. Deuce, what's up?
What up, fellas?
What up?
Hey, man, I'm happy as hell, man. We in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, y'all survived yesterday. That was an ass whooping. That was an ass whooping yesterday.
Hey, hold on, though, chill. It was an ass whooping, but that third quarter, 17-2 run scared the shit out of me. Woo.
Hell yes, it did. When they cut it to
scared
like
the hell
7,
out of me. Hey,
they cut
I
it to
was
like
talking
7.
crazy the whole time. I was like, I told my friend, I said, hey, man, you might as well go ahead and get some rest for the playoffs tomorrow. Yeah, this an ass whooping. Then the third quarter start, we only up 6. I'm like, hold on, what's going on? What's going on?
And it didn't help that Anthony Davis was in his bag yesterday neither. He was deep
man.
in. He was all the way to his shoulder in his bag. All the way to his shoulder in his bag. Yesterday.
I knew AD was gonna do that though, man. That's just AD against Memphis, man. That's just what it is. But the whole game plan, like I do.
I'm sorry. I just seen Giannis just big boying.
Hey, I'm watching the game too, man.
I just seen Giannis big boying. That's all. Keep going. I'm listening to you. Keep going.
But yeah, I already knew what the game plan was gonna be for yesterday. I knew they was gonna make them play fast with them like running all bigs. The shortest person in their starting lineup was 6'7", so we was gonna make them play fast, force turnovers, let AD be AD because I mean that's what's gonna happen. You know, Zach Edey played damn good. That was probably the best Zach Edey game I ever seen. I was so impressed with him. Like he held his own. He played like a dog. Man, that was a good game, and I love the energy coming out. I wish we had the energy coming out every single game. That would be lovely.
Yeah, that was a good game, y'all. I mean, y'all put it on them quick. You know what I'm saying? Y'all came out fast and attacked them. Shout out to y'all. I know I said I had y'all missing the playoffs, but shit, I've been wrong before.
Did too.
Y'all had a great game last night.
I did too, 100%. I had y'all losing yesterday. I thought Anthony.
Oh no, man! OG talking about man, get these bums off my team. I said, damn, OG, damn, that hurt my chest.
But Deuce, before I let you go, I do need to know this. How are you? How is Memphis as a city, and you in particular? How are y'all feeling about this first round matchup to your, to the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Now listen, I know I told y'all I was ducking these niggas. I know I told y'all that, but I just had to come to the realization we never played them healthy this season. Like, if we played them this season, like anybody out of the big 3 didn't play. Like Ja didn't play like 3 of the games. Jaren missed like 2 of the games. I think Bane played all of them. But we haven't played them fully healthy.
Until now.
Until now. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm looking at the starting lineup for what it is, I don't hate the matchup. I don't. Because how I'm looking at it, okay, SGA is gonna be SGA, right? I mean,
Sure.
we can all agree on that.
Sure.
With Ja being the great playoff performer that he is, I think he can cancel out SGA with his scoring, at least match up with him on that.
Yeah.
And I know what y'all thinking with Lou Dort guarding Ja. I'm waiting to see how that's gonna work too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bane can cancel out J-Dub.
Here the problem though. The problem that we having is what we saw last night when you have those lulls where Dallas goes on like a 22-4 run. You can't do that with Oklahoma City because they're gonna run your asses right out of there.
Yeah.
Right. A 22-4 run, you ain't recovering from that. That they go up 19, they go up 24 on you guys. Y'all ain't getting back in the game. They're not letting y'all back in the game when they do stuff like that. So with that being said, if you could keep the game close, I do think that you got a chance. If you don't, and you allow them to have runs like that where they end up getting some separation, it's a wrap.
And I think this the real disadvantage in this series. I think Jaren is going to bully Chet. Chet ain't nothing but skin and bones. I think he's going to be the disadvantage in this series. If we want to win this series, I think we got to take advantage of Chet.
We've still been waiting on Chet to get bullied. I still haven't seen it yet. He went up against Valanciunas last year, and Valanciunas didn't bully him.
The last time Jaren played him, he kind of rocked him up a little bit. Well, I'm hoping we can take advantage of him. I feel like that's what's going to be the disadvantage in this series.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see, man. I don't know what I'm finna see. It's gonna be a good series. I don't think it's gonna be like a 4-0 sweep of 5 games. I don't think it's gonna be nothing like that. I think it's gonna be a way better series than what people are thinking.
I just think how fast you guys play. I think that you have an opportunity just with how fast you play and the guys that you have in the interior. Don't get me wrong. Zach Edey is a rookie, and he can look like a rookie. He looked like a rookie against the Golden State Warriors. 100% he did. He looked like a rookie against the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with the guys that you have, and how fast you play and how much offense you can generate, especially with that Oklahoma City defense, how much offense you can generate, that's going to be contingent on how well you play and how if you're able to get any wins in this series.
Yeah, and we can't turn that ball over. We turn that ball over, man, it's game over. It's game over.
Smoke y'all dudes. Get these dudes off my TV.
Chill out, G. Damn.
All right.
Hey, it's good talking to y'all, man.
Hey, all right, dudes, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. Yes, we got some good ones, man. We got some good ones. Sir. It looks like right now Indy is taking care of business. Mm-hmm. But a lot of basketball left to play, y'all. I got Travis Best. I see Travis Best in the building. That's what's up. Okay, let me see who's next. Oh, Leaf Diggy.
What up?
I'm gonna get right to the goddamn point. Listen, the 2 games yesterday, Miami. I thought Miami had total control of that game.
Even when it got late.
Yeah, even when it got late, I thought they had total control because they was able to match whatever Atlanta was bringing, even though the Atlanta made a comeback. Davion Mitchell was the unsung hero in that game, especially down the stretch in overtime when he got them threes and made some defensive stops. I was very impressed with him defensively. The defensive job that he did against Atlanta. Yeah. I think he could carry that on in the next series against in terms of the matchups on paper. I think that Miami could carry that and make it a little bit competitive. I think they could go back and forth for a little bit with the Cavs and do everything that they bring. However, that shit is.
If you got Davion Mitchell, so Miami's rotation of Davion Mitchell, Jokic, Robinson, if you got that kind of rotation, you're gonna have to slow them down defensively because this is what I'm thinking. They got 9 guys over there in Cleveland, right? So with the 9 guys that they got in Cleveland, Davion Mitchell, he can't be solely responsible for having to slow down Ty Jerome. He can't be solely responsible for having to slow down DeAndre Hunter. He can't be solely responsible for having to slow down Okoro, who can get going. He can't be solely responsible for these guys, or if Strus is in the rotation. We got to get some defense from these other guys. And am I going to get defense from? Am I going to get defense from Robinson? Am I going to get defense from Jokic?
I mean, you're gonna get about as much as they could get. It's still gonna be a sweep anyway, bro. Like I don't know what that dude that was in the water talking about. This shit is over in 2. Don't even play the last 2 games, bro. I mean, Miami, I don't know what Miami is even shooting up for, but they playing around with their food. However, they did solidify themselves as playing legends because they played about 7 damn playing games, and I think they won most of them. So other than the game last year, but the other game damn man, poor Dallas damn that shit was an absolute it was an absolute mess right from the beginning, bro. Like for anybody that thought that game was competitive, please. Memphis came out. Of course, John Morant was 100 miles per hour. Scottie Pippen Jr. was about 90 miles per hour, and Desmond Bain was about a good 85 miles per hour. They was just running the ball up and down the court on them. John Morant was not bullshitting around yesterday. AD did show a lot of heart in that 40-point performance, man. He was doing the best he could.
We got to get that soft tag off Anthony Davis. Yesterday is evidence of that. Yesterday is more evidence of that. That Anthony Davis is the real deal, man. Like we have to stop talking about him like that. I told Ox earlier today that Anthony Davis is going to be tied to Luka for the rest of his career. He's the guy who Luka got traded for, and we're going to completely forget about how good Anthony Davis is because he was traded for Luka. And right. I think that that's totally unfair because he's awesome. And he's always been awesome in the postseason or when the game's been on the line. He's always been. And that sucks.
And just to talk more about that, I thought under Jason Kidd, I think Jason Kidd has unlocked his overall playmaking ability and his ability to see the floor a little bit more. Find guys and do a lot of things outside of the X's and O's. They pretty much got their ass whipped, man. That was they stomped got a mud hole stomped in them. Memphis was not bullshitting around. So I'm going to go to the 2 games today. The game that we're watching right now, Indiana and Milwaukee. It seemed like if Milwaukee get in a back and forth with these dudes, bro, I think Indiana is gonna pull us out. Giannis, oh man, poor Giannis, man. I think Giannis is definitely gonna have a series for sure, but I think Indiana is probably gonna win this series, probably in 5 or 6. If I had to say the other series, the other game today was the Knicks and the Pistons. I think the Pistons.
So you just missed that free throw?
Yes.
I think the Pistons could get them, and I'm so explaining the matchups for the Pistons. Me personally,
hold on, Leaf. Did I see that? I just want to make sure I saw that right. Ox, do you know that Giannis? I just want to make sure I saw this correctly. You know, Giannis averaged 36, 13, and 6 against Indiana.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does. Yes, you did. You did see that, right? Yes, he does.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he listen. He is. They have nothing for him. However, I think the totality of their offense, the Bucks don't have anything for the totality of their offense, so it's gonna offset. However, what I was about to say about the Knicks and Pistons series, I personally think that the Pistons have the ability to match up perfectly well in this series, and I think I'm gonna start off with Jalen Duran. Jalen Duran, most of the time that he needs to be in the game is when Mitchell Robinson is in the game. You keep him off the rebounds at all costs. That is your job.
Good luck.
Keep him. Hey, Jalen Durant. Jalen Durant is a grown man, bro. So I believe in his ability to do it. Isaiah Stewart, I think he's going to have the Cat matchup defensively, and I think his job is to make things difficult on Cat. Try to get the ball out of Brunson's hands immediately.
All right, Leaf. We know where to find you at, brother. Good to talk to you, my man. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we know where to find you at, my man.
All right, bro.
All right, Leaf. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do got a game going on right now. We had a couple more people in the lobby, but they left. I don't know. Hopefully they left because they're watching basketball right now.
Watching basketball, that's why.
Chill. What are you seeing right now in this game right here?
I'm seeing a Giannis Antetokounmpo who's very focused, very much. I mean, we halfway through the first quarter. He got 9 points and 2 rebounds, right? And he's already been to the stripe twice. He's already been to the stripe twice, and he's got 11 points. Ox. He's on his way, and we 5 minutes. We still got 5.5 minutes in the first quarter. He's very focused on what's going on in this series. He looks like he's definitely trying to take control of this game right from the beginning. And if he's got, I don't think beat them by himself, but I think that he's very focused on what we're trying to do here. Very much so.
Yeah, I see Nembhard pushing the break, getting out early. Yep. Just bang Brook for the layup, man. This is going to be a high intensity game, y'all. Very high intensity. I hope y'all are ready for this, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm super excited, super juiced.
Sir.
Before we do
playoffs ahead,
right, before we do we don't have anybody else in the lobby. I want to read this chat. It wasn't a super chat, but I liked it. I started. This is from Bartel. Bartel says, I started watching PC a month ago. Now I'm hooked. Fire content, fellas.
Hey man, right. the best for me, the best compliment is to tell your friends about us. That's the best compliment for me. It's not to tell me how good I am or anything like that, because I mean I'm not any of this stuff without the fellas. Is I roll with them, right? So the best compliment to me is, yo, tell everybody about us. Tell everybody about what we doing around here. And once you tell them and then they come see what we doing, then I mean this thing just continues to spread like wildfire. So that's the most important thing for us.
No doubt. Yep. No doubt, y'all, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes, sir.
Tell that friend to tell another friend, y'all. Let's keep spreading, because we are definitely going to be here 6 days a week. No, wait. No, from the Logos, not on Sunday anymore. I think they're only on Tuesday. So yeah, we're here 6 days a week, man. Y'all keep pulling up. Just keep consuming this content, because we're going to be here and we're here for y'all. Appreciate all of y'all that do consume the content. Appreciate everybody that is a member, that sends super chats, that just watches, that interacts in the chat in a positive way. We thank y'all. We truly do, man.
That's what we're here for. That's exactly what we're here for, though, Ox. We're here. This is what we're here for. We're here to give you the basketball content that other people don't give. We're here to give you the insight that other people don't give. We're not here to regurgitate what everybody else is saying. That's why when we say stuff, that's why when I say stuff, it's such a quote unquote hot take. And wait, what are you? Because I don't think like the rest of these guys do. I look at basketball differently. So when I say stuff. This, don't get me wrong. There's times when I might go a little bit overboard with some things, and I might have to get real back in. Like, wait a minute, you might be a little bit wild with that. I might have to catch myself, but I'm prepared to take it where I need to take it off the strength of what I know and how I'm studying the game. I'm not just saying things the majority of the time just because it sounds good. No, this is how I really see the game.
Sure. Every time I click over here, Giannis is at the free throw line.
Yep. And they had Nesmith on him. Nesmith was on him, and now Nesmith got to get out the game. So that's just bad offense. I mean, that's just bad defense from them. Nice job, yo.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis is going to keep applying that pressure. He's going to continue to try to get downhill. It looks like Doc is about to take him out for a breather after these free throws. But yeah, he's applying pressure this game. He's going to make them foul him to stop him, because that seems like the only way, y'all. Seems like the only way. But we are here to the end of the show, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get out of here and continue to watch some basketball. But just because we're leaving doesn't mean y'all should stop watching these basketball games. I told y'all already. I told y'all weeks ago. Put your Instacart orders in. Go to the store. Do whatever you got to do. Get you some snacks. Get you some water. Stay hydrated and sit down and watch you some good playoff basketball. We are going to go ahead and get out of here, because I got to lock in on this basketball myself. Chill.
Y'all know what time it is, man. We here. The playoffs are here, guys. The playoffs are here. You know where to find us at. Right? This is when the money is on the line. So we're going to be here the whole entire playoffs. You know where to find us at. We will be here. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive.
One second,
hold on.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt. But we do actually have a couple minutes left. And my man Lamont just clicked the link. Let's jump up real quick, talk a little hoop of Lamont.
What's up?
Yo, what up, y'all?
What's up, brother?
What up, man? Just pulling up. I'm gonna ask y'all, because I know y'all got to go. I'm just gonna get to my hottest take of this playoff matchup.
Sure.
I got the Bucks beating the Cavs in 7.
What's the difference between this regular season, how they've handled them in the playoffs?
Hold on, let me turn it up. I can barely hear you, Chill. Say that one more time.
Wait, you said the Bucks?
He got the Bucks. He already got the Bucks getting by Indiana. He got the Bucks seeing the Cavs. So what I'm asking Lamont is, what's the difference between how they handled them in the regular season and what's going to happen in the playoffs?
I don't see. For me, I completely forget regular season. I from what I've seen, the regular season has been the biggest trick bag of what happens in the playoffs. You can beat a team up in the regular season as much as you want, and when that playoff setting hits, and you got to win that home game or you got to win on the road, and that pressure starts to mount, it's just a completely different environment. And the one thing I've noticed is that stars are the star heavy teams. The stars are far more locked in. Them shots that you see rattle out in the regular season, they start to go in the playoffs.
Giannis is evidence of that right now. Giannis is evidence of that right now. He got 12 points in the first quarter.
Yeah. And so sometimes I have to try to hit a reset button when the playoffs hit, because it's a different game and so many factors that you can't account for start to add up. And it's just like we get surprised because we get caught up in the regular season when maybe we should have just been looking at what's right in front of us, which is the star power, the experience, and things like that. And I think when you get to that Cavs matchup, it's just hard for me to ignore the star power, the experience of Dame and the star power, and the experience of Giannis and the star power. And then when you look at the Cavs, just that lack of experience. I mean, Donovan Mitchell has some, but I don't know about Garland and some of the other guys, and Jared Allen, can they? And so I think you can get in trouble. I think that's a scary series for the Cavs if they fall asleep.
I don't think that they're going to fall asleep, though, Lamont. And on top of that, we've seen so much growth from Darius Garland this season. I can appreciate your logic about the playoffs being a different season than the regular season, but Darius Garland has gotten better this season. And I think these playoffs, he's going to show how much better he's gotten. I already know who Donovan Mitchell is in the playoffs. He's gotten busy and shown us that. Evan Mobley, his progression has also been so much better. So I think that this Milwaukee Buck team, as good as they are and as good as Giannis is, when they run up on this Cavs team after they handle Indiana, I think it's going to be too tall of a task. As good as Damian Lillard is, I just think it's going to be too tall of a task.
How did they guard playoff Giannis, though?
See, that's the thing. Remember we talked about, me and Ox just talked about it. I'm one of these people that I always look at stars like I X them out. So I don't, when Giannis comes in, I don't think, all right, we slowing Giannis. No, we're going to deal with Giannis and we're going to do what we can to make him a jump shooter. And in the process of making him a jump shooter, we're going to make it really difficult on him getting to the lane, but we're going to X him out in terms of his production. That 28-13 or that 30-13, we're going to eat that because we know that we're not going to stop him from getting that. It's those other guys that we got to slow down. Like, we can't get Kuzma going 22-23. We can't have that. We got to slow it. We can't have Tayshaun Prince cracking us for 4 or 5 long balls and getting 2 or 3 steals. That's the stuff that we can't have. The reason why I'm thinking that, Lamont, is because I think about, like, when Shaq was going up against Tim Duncan. Like, Shaq ain't stopping Tim Duncan. Duncan ain't stopping Shaq. Those two guys are going to cancel each other out. How are we going to do against these other guys? And that's what I'm thinking about when I think about the Cavs. And I feel like they got more guys in their rotation to cancel out those other guys than what Milwaukee has.
I don't see a neutralizer for Giannis's production, especially, like, obviously once you get past Donovan Mitchell, where I feel like him and Dame are so similar. If you go with the method of Xing players out, they X out each other, but who X's out the rebounds, the defense, and the scoring to Giannis, and then also the foul trouble that he could potentially get some of them bigs in? I don't think they have an X factor that can neutralize that. And I think that's just, unless you expected Mobley to turn into a 25-point per game scorer, I don't know if he can.
And it's interesting you say that too, Lamont. I know we got to go, but it's interesting you say that because I think about both Allen and Mobley as a collector, as a collection. I think they both can cancel out what Giannis does, and I feel like Cleveland's the rest of their guys, they can slow down the rest of those guys. That's what I'm saying.
I tend to lean with this in this particular matchup. I tend to lean with what Lamont is saying as far as Giannis. I got big love for Evan Mobley and a lot of love for Jared Allen as well. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think them dudes can bang with Giannis. I don't think Evan Mobley's ready to match up with Giannis in the whole series. Now, I'm not saying the Bucks are going to win, but that's another one of those series where, especially if Dame, see, when we were talking about it earlier, I didn't think Dame was coming back. Now, with Dame, I could see the Bucks 100% beating the Cavaliers. But only time will tell, y'all. But Lamont, we do out of here, brother. Appreciate you for clicking the link and popping up, giving your takes, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll check with you, man. Yeah, y'all, we went a little overtime, but when when it's playoff basketball, a lot of things going on. It happens. We have to. And Cheerio been texting me for the past 5 minutes, but Cheerio, I'm sorry.
I had to turn my
I'm
phone
sorry.
off.
I'll flip my number, turn my ringer off.
Yeah, we moving.
Oh, won't happen again, Cheerio. I'm sorry.
We're getting out of here. We leaving right now. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? I just talked to my mother yesterday. She's doing great, right? Call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hey, get with my man. He'll make sure that you get where you need to go. Call him. He got you covered. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys. No doubt.
All right, y'all. Thanks for popping up. Thanks for showing up on this Saturday. Make sure you're watching basketball. You can find us on Monday on the panel. You know the time. You know the place. Don't be late. As always, y'all, man, drink a lot of water. Take care of yourself and never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive. Y'all, we'll see y'all soon, man. Peace.
Later.